Good evening. I'm George Herbig, Chief Forecaster, here with Weather Now Kentucky. We do have an update for you tonight regarding tomorrow night's snow chance throughout the portions of the state. Ivy, hello. How are you doing? I appreciate you. Good evening, everyone. I know we went live a little bit earlier than I mentioned in the post today, so I'm going to give it a couple minutes, let folks have enough time to get in here, get settled in, and get ready for the information. Of course, as you're coming in, make sure you say hello in both the YouTube and the Facebook chats. We appreciate you guys hanging out with us, getting your information from W&K. Of course, as you're doing that, if you would not mind, tap the share button at the bottom portion of your screen. Share this video onto your news feed so that way your friends and family can view it, get up to date on what to expect. I do expect there will be some advisories tomorrow throughout portions of Kentucky. Some slick spots Saturday night into Sunday morning. But we'll get into all that good information here very, very soon. Ivy, good stuff. I appreciate that. Thank you for letting me know. Yeah. It took a while. Laura, how are you? Laramie, hello. Teresa, hello from Cecilia. Jesse over there on YouTube, hello. Maria, hola. Axel, hello. How are you doing? Let's just go ahead. Just go ahead and put that person in timeout. Yep. Gotta love when the kids hop on YouTube and just be weird. Just be weird. Auburn, hello. Again, if you're just not tuning in here with us, you have not missed a thing. We appreciate you guys hanging out with us. We're just now starting this broadcast. We are going to be talking about our snow chances for Saturday and maybe looking a little bit into the future as well. I'll show you why the pattern supports not only tomorrow's snow chance, but the potential for more snow chances down the road. I will say one thing we want to mention is that in our Wintercast videos, by the way, our next Wintercast comes out either next week or the following week. Make sure you're looking out for that Wintercast 2.0. Some things will be changing in that based upon what we've seen the last couple of weeks. So a lot of good information expected with that. Thank you guys for all the likes and the shares on Facebook. We appreciate you helping us with our goals. Thank you for doing your part and liking and sharing the broadcast on YouTube. Thank you for hitting the bell. We appreciate you guys. Let's give it about 30 more seconds. Allow folks to get in here. Again, I went live a little bit earlier than I mentioned I would. So I'm going to give folks a little bit more time for look at all the hearts coming across the screen on YouTube and Facebook. We appreciate you. Haley Meredith says, how's that baby? He's doing good. He just went down to bed. So doing good there. A couple teeth starting to break through. Thank you, Teresa, for sharing the broadcast on Facebook and those other folks too. All right. Let's go ahead and get things started here. So we got a new model run coming in right now. So I don't know if we're going to look at that or not. I haven't made up my mind yet. I have not looked at this run yet. So we'll kind of be looking at this together here with you. So this is a brand new model run that is literally coming in as we're speaking. So take this with a grain of salt. I have not had a chance to go through this yet, but just going to quickly kind of scoot through this to see what it looks like real quick. That makes sense. That's about where our forecast is. So I feel really good about our forecast, by the way. If you saw our forecast earlier that we posted earlier today on Facebook, Twitter, and on Blue Sky, I still feel pretty good about that. I think we will make a few changes, and I will pinpoint those changes to you in this broadcast. So this is a brand new run coming in now. Just now kind of getting going out there. One thing I want to do that I forgot to do, I want to take a look at those current temperatures real quick like we usually do when we open up the broadcast. Look at those. Look at those temperatures out there. Upper 20s, low 30s for many folks right now. That's not counting the wind chill. I can tell you I just got in from outside visiting some family tonight. And the wind chill out there, it's got to be, yeah, look at that. Chilly outside. So the cold air is absolutely there to support snow chances tomorrow. I do think we'll go above freezing for a brief period tomorrow afternoon. So I think we're talking about mainly big, very wet, very heavy snowflakes. Those big ones that, if you want to make snowmen and snowballs, right, tomorrow is your opportunity to do that if you do see some snow. We're talking about very big snowflakes because the temperature is going to be so close to freezing. And in fact, it'll be above freezing in some places. The closer that you are to freezing, the actual 32-degree mark Fahrenheit, right, the bigger those snowflakes are, what we call dendrites, or dendrites, however you want to pronounce them. Very, very big snowflakes coming out tomorrow. By the way, don't forget real quickly before I forget, download that WeatherWise app. Go to weatherwise.app. Get that app, by the way. It's going to help you track the snow for tomorrow so you can see what's happening outside your door without us having to post it every 5 minutes for you. Download that app. It's a really good free radar. I want to go ahead and just take a look at the model data real quickly. I'm not going to make this video too entirely long. I don't want to keep you guys too late. I know it's Friday night. Everyone's snuggled up. Should be watching Christmas movies. My favorite time of year. Should be watching Christmas movies. What's y'all's favorite Christmas movie, by the way? I think I like the classic Rudolph. Okay, enough jibber jabbing. What's happening here? A lot of folks are saying they can't see this on their phone radar or their phone app. Well, because the storm hasn't even been made yet. So I'm going to zoom this out to the national view for you real quickly. We're going to keep an eye on this area out toward Missouri and Illinois, and that's where our system is going to start to generate. As moist air comes in from a kind of semi-warm front, a little shortwave action, a little mini what we call baby low pressure, kind of moving up here, meeting with that high pressure. That's a really strong cold front, obviously, as we're feeling right now, right? That kind of just sparks a little system right there. And as that ejects east, it grabs onto more, as you can kind of see just the waves there, it grabs onto more moist air that's filling in from the Gulf. And it just kind of just scoots on east and grows and grows and grows and grows. And eventually, this is where our forecast gets a little bit tricky. Eventually, a little bit of dry air is going to kick into this, and that's what you're kind of seeing. So if I back this up a few clicks here, right, you'll see it's a nice full snow, nice full rain. As this gets into Kentucky, unfortunately for some of you that are going to miss out on the snowfall, it's because the high pressure is so close, it's kicking in dry air from the cold front. Kind of just a big circle, right? Kicking in that dry air from the cold front, and it's helping to eat out the moisture on the front side, or eat away at the moisture on the front side. On the back side, that moisture will continue to build. However, eventually the cold front we know has drier air. That will eventually catch the back side of it and start to take away the moisture there. So it makes for a pretty tricky forecast, if you will. Let's go ahead and zoom on in here to the regional view. Kind of give you a better look at what's happening regionally. Then we'll zoom into the local view, and you'll get actual city names with that. So again, I want to point out real quickly, this is a brand new model run coming in. So I have not seen this. We are kind of watching this together for the first time. This is from the 0Z suite, so 0 Zulu time, which is the time zone that weather uses. So pushing this on forward here, you can see Saturday morning, by the way, early morning, looks fine. For those of you that, I know a lot of people ask because a lot of people are traveling home. Tomorrow we had a lot of DMs about that. Saturday morning, even Saturday afternoon when the snowfall is actually falling, looks fine. It's sunset and thereafter on Saturday that looks to be a bit questionable. And Sunday morning commute, if you're heading out for church on Sunday morning, if you go there early for the early services or wherever else you may be going on Sunday, travel may be a bit tricky for some folks. Push this on forward here. You'll see our system kind of creates itself. It's not a big banger, okay? But this will be our biggest snowfall of the year for some folks so far. And just now getting things started. This is a good sign for winter lovers, by the way. The fact that we're already getting active and things are getting rolling, we're getting things that are in favorable positions for us. Last year, the problem was we kept getting systems, but they were not in favorable positions or favorable time frames. We're actually getting a system here that's in a favorable position and a favorable time frame. So a very good sign, by the way, for you winter lovers that this is happening. So pushing this on forward here, you'll see it might start as a little bit of rain. I'm not so sure that happens. I think if anything happens, it's probably just be light, very light rain on here, maybe a bit of a mix, or even just dry air, just taking that completely away. So this is what we mentioned a few moments ago. The dry air, you kind of see it making these concaves on the front side. It's trying to take the moisture away. Then the moisture tries to start kicking. The moisture starts to kick in as the dew points get a little bit higher. And you can see this little bitty, very weak low pressure right here. As it gets closer, those dew points will get a little bit higher, talking about maybe mid-20s, low 30s. When that occurs, so what you guys are looking for tomorrow, if you're looking for snowfall and you're looking at your phone, what you want to see is those dew points and those temperatures as close as possible. What that means is our environment is saturated. When those dew points and temperatures are further apart, let's say you have a dew point of 15 and a temperature of 35, your environment is very dry. What's going to likely happen is snowfall is going to fall, several thousand feet up, but it's not going to make it to the ground. It's going to evaporate to try and help moisten that environment. So what you're looking for is those dew points and temperatures, that's what we posted about earlier, to be a little bit closer together to help support that snowfall making it to the ground. So push this on forward here. You kind of see that snowfall just hovers around the Ohio River, now seeping a little bit more south into Kentucky. And right along this freezing line, so where we see this rain and snow, you're actually going to see some pretty heavy snowfall rates. So if I click over here to composite reflectivity, now this doesn't have the fancy colors for us, but this does show us how hard or light the rain or snow is falling, right? As I push this on forward here, you'll see mainly light stuff. And then a nice moderate to nearly heavy band of snow will set up along the Ohio River and kind of scoot its way on through. I will say, as this model run is coming through, I will say that this is trending a little bit lighter on this one model run. This is one model run from one particular model. So I'm not going to take this fully with a grain of salt. We're not going to change our forecast off of this one run. But if we start to notice that this trend continues throughout the night, we'll stay up all night and monitor this for you guys, of course. If we see this trend, look out for a post from us for tomorrow morning with different snowfall expectations, because this does look lighter just off the quick glance of my eye. So zooming this on forward here through local view, kind of give you some time frames here and some city labels to work with. So also noting here on this one run, again, one run, this is a little bit slower. So remember, we put in that start time for our snowfall map that we posted earlier. We put 1 p.m. Eastern time. Well, this looks more like 2 to 3 p.m. Eastern time, which is a good and bad thing. So if you're a snow lover, this is a good thing. More of the snow will stick. So we're talking about a more efficient snowfall. The more snowfall that happens in Kentucky at night, the better chances you have of sticking. 1, the sun goes away. 2, less interactions with the surface, right? More people are at home. More people are off the roads. More people are not walking on sidewalks, yada, 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 heating those things up, friction, right? So pushing this on forward to 5 to 6 to 7 p.m. Eastern time. Snowfall ongoing. This is very light stuff, maybe not even hitting the ground. We'll see. Snowfall ongoing. I will say what I am seeing as well is a northern trend. So if I go back to an old run here, let's click on this hour, right? Let's go back to an old run here. So we're going to put this on model trend, okay? This is the run from earlier. So you see the difference. So this is the run from this morning, okay? This is the run from this morning. Look at where the rain snow line is. Look at where the bulk of the heavier, the darker blues are. They're in West Kentucky, right? If I go to this new run, see the difference? This is why forecasting snowfall is really hard in Kentucky. Just over a period of one run, you have about a 75 to 100 mile shift there. Now, again, this is one run, right? I'm not going to change our forecast off of one model run. But it's important to note these trends to see what may occur tomorrow. But if I do this, look at how different the models look. This is one model, and look how different it looks on each run. So this is the run from last night. First thing this morning around 2 a.m. Second thing this morning around 8 a.m. This was around 4 p.m. And this is now. So completely different looks here from one singular model over a 4-run period. Anyway, back to the actual forecast here. Pushing this on forward again, right where that rain snow line is in Western Kentucky. Someone, and we pointed this out in our forecast, someone between Evansville and let's say Owensboro, just along that Ohio River, maybe just south or just north, which kind of depends. 25 miles make a big difference, right? Someone's going to end up with 2-3 inches of snow out of this, which is almost a winter storm level snow. Because look how heavy that is, right? Very heavy. Also, this is post-sunset, technically nocturnal snowfall, which we know historically in Kentucky has a better chance of sticking to the ground, right? Despite the above freezing surface temps, right? Last time I checked the road temps, I think they were around roughly 45 degrees. So it's still technically above freezing, obviously. But when snowfall comes down heavy enough and comes down during the nighttime, it can overcome those warm surface temps. Pushing this on forward to 9 p.m. Eastern time. Heavier snow is ongoing for basically Elizabethtown over toward the Owensboro, Henderson areas, points north, and then stretching out toward Lexington, back up toward the Louisville, maybe even Shelbyville area at that point. Pushing us on forward, heavier snow bands still setting up from Lexington to Evansville. Going forward, 11 p.m. Eastern time, heavier snow bands lifting north a little bit now. And you can see why we made our forecast a little bit the way we did. So real quick, I'm going to flash it, and then we're going to come back to it here in a minute. This is our forecast that we posted earlier. Look, notice how there's a line, and then it dips down south in eastern Kentucky. Coming back over here to the main screen, you'll see the reason we did that is we noted that on the dew points. If we go over here to the dew points, just pay attention to these for a second. The dew points look like this. So here's your dew point for E-Town, 29, 27 tomorrow, Lexington, Louisville, 31. Those are pretty moist dew points. We saw that the temperature is going to be around low 30s tomorrow, so that's a pretty moist environment. If you look down here in southeastern and south central Kentucky, Bowling Green dew point 20, Somerset 24, all the way down to 12 for your dew point down there, very southern Kentucky near the Tennessee border. So that's why we cut out some of you out of the snowfall forecast, because dry air is trying to invade this system. Now, I will tell you this, models really struggle with depicting between the strength of dry air and a very moist environment, right? So could there be some overachieving tomorrow? Absolutely. It's on the table. That's why I made it very clear in that post we made earlier with that forecast that some changes will probably need to be made because some overachieving might occur. So you might be in the 1 to 2 inch zone and end up with 3 inches of snow tomorrow. That would not surprise me. Now, again, no one take that, for a guarantee, 100% guarantee. I'm just saying there will be a few isolated spots. Let's say Evansville or Lexington, for example, that may go all the way up to 2.5, 3 inches of snow tomorrow, which is not a lot of snow, but for Kentucky standards the last few years, that's starting to feel like a lot of snow, right? So push this off forward to 10 to 11 p.m. Eastern time. You see that heavier snow is now exiting out to the east there. Then you got a nice little band trying to stretch itself out from the west, and the light snow's ongoing throughout the overnight hours there. So this is the latest snowfall totals from this. Now these are snowfall, not snow accumulation. Very big difference. Snowfall is what's falling from the ground. Snow accumulation is going to be a little bit different, right? We obviously know we're going to lose a little bit of snowfall accumulation because the surface temps are a little bit above freezing, right? So I think only about 60% of this is going to stick. So you'll see, and this model does show a very heavy band from south central Illinois over toward, but not including the Louisville area. Very heavy band there. I mean, hey, this comes 25 miles south. Now you're talking about Owensboro getting in on that, Henderson getting in on that, Meade, Breckenridge, Northern Hardin County getting in on that. So a shift of 25 miles. I mean, think about that. That's like going from South Hardin County to Radcliffe, right? That's like going from South Fayette County to Lexington, right? That's not that's not a very far travel. And I will tell you, if I go back on an earlier run here and show you the earlier run, here's the difference. So again, this is this afternoon's run from 4 p.m., right? Showing a wide swath of 1 to 2 inches. Again, this is snowfall, not snow accumulation. Big difference. And then here you have this very, very clear jog north on this run here. Actually, almost makes our forecast where we need to change it tonight. Now, again, I'm going to wait. Right here is our forecast. By the way, for those of you that may have missed it, I'll give it to you in just one moment. I got to give you a message from our sponsors real quickly. You guys know how this stuff goes. It's a business. We got to pay our bills here. By the way, real quick shout out to FBI Buildings. Starting to lose my voice for some reason. I want to give them a shout out. FBI Buildings is a Midwest post frame construction company servicing Illinois, Indiana, Iowa, Kentucky, Michigan, Missouri, Ohio, and Wisconsin. Founded in 1958, FBI Buildings has constructed over 20,000 farm shops, commercial businesses, residential buildings, and horse barns. They have dedicated repair and renovation experts. They have the knowledge, resources, and manpower to extend any pole barn's useful life or reconfigure it for a new purpose. They actually have a promotion going on right now. 20% discount until December 13th for any pole barn repair or renovation project. Again, that's through December 13th. So make sure to FBIbuildings.com to take advantage of that. Thank you so much for their partnership. We appreciate them. And here's a quick message from Right Implement.
I enjoy seeing things grow. It's a fun process to be able to put a seed in the ground and seeing what comes from it. We always enjoy going to Rocks because they're always very helpful, and when we're in a need, they always get it done for us.
If we break down the field, I make a call to Right Implement, and they always have someone out within a reasonable amount of time. I've been working with Right Implement for several years and wouldn't recommend any other dealership.
Thank you so much for Right Implement. So get some of your questions real quick, and then we'll get to that forecast that we made for you guys. Pro Rancher on YouTube says, any chance of it becoming an ice storm? I do not think so. I do not think so. By the way, real quickly before I forget, I did forget to show you guys. Above our heads, several thousand feet, 5,000 feet, 2,000 feet, any feet above our heads, it's completely frozen. So for an ice storm or for freezing rain to occur, one of those layers above our heads has to be above freezing while the surface is below freezing. I do not see that being the case tomorrow. It is by far below freezing above our heads. So I would say the chance of it becoming an ice storm is probably about 0.1%. It's very, very, very non-existent. So I want to make that very clear for those of you that may have a little anxiety when it comes to ice storms. I don't see that occurring tomorrow. Pro Winter, thank you, by the way, for becoming a supporter on YouTube. We appreciate you. Laura says, yeah, we definitely not seen, very much snow here in Kentucky. Again, we have that forecast ready for you. Don't go anywhere. Is there a chance the storm shifts and E-Town gets an inch of snow or above? Hunter, absolutely. Absolutely. It's on the table. It's on the table. It's on the table. I do think there's plenty of shifting to occur. By the way, that was only one model run. Every other model run we've seen today has had E-Town above 1 inch of snow. So this one model run, it has E-Town at below 1 inch. But every other run, for example, let's go ahead and click this and go back. Oh, can't. But just so you know, every other run has had E-Town at above 1 inch. And even this one has it above 2 inches. Now, so again, we don't put all of our stock in one model run around here. So we're gonna watch the trends tonight. We're gonna look it up. By the way, there's dozens upon dozens of models that we look at. We got a little book here from Emily and Michael, who gave this to me, that we keep track of everything. We've done a lot of math today. I think each time, seeing above an inch is definitely on the table. Not a guarantee right now, but from all the other data that I've seen, it's absolutely on the table. Shifting is on the table as well. Shifting of amounts is on the table. Shifting of timing is on the table. When we're dealing with clippers, they can very easily overachieve, guys. We know this. So on the table for sure. Here's that forecast that we posted earlier, by the way. This might change a little bit, again, as we go through the overnight data. We're going to be spending a lot of time behind this desk back here, as we've done all day today. We're continuing to do that tonight with the team. But kind of overall, pretty similar to what we've seen. So here, again, there's our forecast. You can see the highest zone, a half inch up to about an inch and a half, stretches from around the Ohio River in West Kentucky to a much wider swath in eastern Kentucky. If we look at the one model run right now, again, we made this forecast back at about 2 o'clock Eastern time. If you look at the one model run now, it looks pretty similar. So it's not very far off. So again, I'm not going to take this one model run because what happened here is very clear. It shifted about 50 miles to the north, right? I could very easily, at 2 a.m., right, shift back to the south. I mean, very, very, very easily. So that's our forecast right now, up to about an inch or so in that light blue zone, far, far, far northern Kentucky, and then just around the parkways, just north, E-Town, Owensboro, south of Danville, going north of Campbellsville, and then some flakes, a trace of snow for that, parkway area, Litchfield, Campbellsville, Somerset, down to Harlan, Kentucky. And then a trace of snow. It's very light on the broadcast, but just below that light blue zone, there's a very, very light blue zone. I got to fix these colors. There is a chance for some flakes. So Madisonville down to southern Taylor County, northern Adair County, south of Somerset, south of Harlan, maybe northern Monticello. And then, of course, the sad emoji for Paducah, Hopkinsville, southern Warren County, going down to the Tennessee-Kentucky border, where no snow is expected. Maybe a few flurries, mainly rain, if anything. Just too far south for this system. Even if it does shift a little bit, I don't see it making it that far down to southern Kentucky. So sad face for you guys, for you snow lovers down there in southern portions of the state. But yes, it is absolutely, Bo says, wintertime in the bluegrass. By the way, I want to show you real quickly, for those of you that have been asking, but a lot of questions about this, we absolutely do have more chances for snowfall. Now, I'm not going to show you exactly what it looks like because some of the amounts right now are absolutely egregious. But I will show you that when we look at this 500 millibar height anomaly, right? I'm not going to go into detail about I'm not going to bore you guys to death with that. But when we pull up to about the 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th, we see something interesting occurring here. So when this pattern typically occurs, which is an anomaly down here, an anomaly over here, and then some warm through here, you follow these lines here, and you start to identify the possibility of an Appalachian run storm. And that historically is how we get our bigger snowfalls here in Kentucky. Now, not guaranteeing that's going to occur, of course, but the early signals, if you're looking at models and stuff and you're wondering what's going on, or if you're looking and wondering, if we could have a possibility for more snow down the road, I would say that by looking about several thousand feet up here and looking at where these blocking patterns are setting up, I would say there's a fairly decent chance of something occurring around the 8th through about the 11th of December. What exactly that is, I have no idea yet because I'm not going to go, I'll go look. Why not? Why not? Let's have some fun. Pushing this on forward to the 8th, 9th, 11th, and 12th, and there you go. An Appalachian run storm. Here, go back to the older run here. Have some real fun with it. 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 11th. Come on. Get there. And there you go. So you have a low pressure that's stretching out from the polar vortex ejection, which is what that cold air that we were seeing. That's coming from the polar vortex, north of Canada. Some Gulf warmth and moist air meeting up with it, and look who gets the magic middle of it. Kentucky does. I'm not going to show you the amount on this because it's absolutely ridiculous. Okay, I'm not going to show you the amount on this. It's absolutely ridiculous. But I will say the chances are there for a decent snowfall or something to occur around the 10th of December. So our snow chances are just now starting to ramp up. So if you're a snow lover, it might be a good winter here in Kentucky. Just a little preview of the next winter cast coming up. Go back to some of your questions real quickly. What time will it start in Franklin County? Again, even if it reaches down, I mean, again, you're far down there to the south. I don't think it even reaches you down there. But if it does, you're talking about probably mid-afternoon. For Kentucky, again, Shana, the time frame right now is basically 2 p.m. Eastern time to about 2 a.m. on Sunday morning. So a long duration event, about 12 hours long. Again, mainly Saturday evening is the time frame for much of the snow to accumulate if you do see snowfall. Julia, Mickey, Beth, Teresa, thank you guys for sharing the broadcast. We appreciate you. Noodlehead77 on YouTube says, wasn't it a clipper that was forecasted to be a light dusting back in the 90s that ended up being a huge snowstorm? I was born in 97, so I don't know a whole lot about that, but studying a couple of those events, yes, I do know exactly what you're talking about. There was a clipper that should have been a light dusting that I think produced almost 8 to 10 inches for some spots in Kentucky. That will not be the case here. Not enough moisture at play here. And, of course, the information available to us is a lot better now than it was 30 years ago. So I don't think that's the case here, unfortunately. That would be awesome. I would love to be kind of semi-wrong and wake up to a massive snow outside. You guys know how much I love snow. But I don't think that's the case here. I'm in northern Boone County, close to Florence. Got probably a decent chance at seeing close to an inch there. Cody, evening. Hello, how are you doing? All right, I think that's a good stopping point for us. We're at the 28-minute mark here, which is a good spot for us. Shout out to Creature Comfort Inn, FBI Buildings, Right Implement, Weatherwise, for all of your guys' support of making sure that we can reach you guys, everyone here in Kentucky. First time I heard of Thunder Snow, Noodle Head for 77 says, yeah, that was Thunder Snow. If you've never seen Thunder Snow, it is a phenomenal thing to look at. It's almost breathtaking because you're usually used to seeing lightning and then a bunch of rain, but when you see lightning light up big, massive snowflakes, it's a beautiful thing to see. Yeah, Ivy, sorry about that. Shannon says, thanks, Lexington, Kentucky here. Cody says, glad to see a snow event and not a nighttime twister. I will say, I'm not seeing a whole lot of recipes for severe weather this winter. I think we were wrong about that so far, which is a great thing to be wrong about. The reason we had a fear of that is because the way the last few winters have shaped up in Kentucky, we all know how those have gone. We don't have to go into that. But so far, most of these events that we've fallen on have either been just a cold, normal rain, or has been snow showers. So we'll take that. We'll take the less severe weather, of course. Bonnie, hello out of Tread County. We appreciate you guys. I think we're going to end it there. We've done a lot of great information here. We have all the information available on this broadcast. It will be posted to our Facebook and YouTube momentarily, so you can go back and watch the broadcast. If you are now coming in late, you can go back and watch the broadcast at any point that you would like to skip through some of the parts that you don't like. We appreciate you guys hanging out with us. I'm George Herbig, Chief Forecaster here with WNK. Stay safe, Kentucky.